You hire talent wherever it's located. Every big company does them. A small company does it.
Welcome back. Today we are going to talk about if you are hiring virtual assistants directly, what should you pay them? How should you pay them? What kind of benefits should you give them? These are things that people ask us all the time. And so we are just going to share with you today the different things that you should think about when hiring a virtual assistant and as far as benefits and pay. So when you are looking to hire a virtual assistant and you're looking at different pay rates, what do you think people should look at, how much they should pay them?
Let's just work it this way. When you're looking to hire a virtual assistant, things you want to take out. One, you're not paying employment tax, you're not paying for office space, you're not paying for all these taxes that we get taxed on us, whether they call them taxes or whatever else, that you want to take that off. So if you pay somebody in your office $20 an hour, it's not $20 an hour.
Yeah, it's like 25.
Plus the office space,
yeah,
plus the times off. And so just understand that you want something less than what you can, you're saving money on that, and it starts to add up for it. And they're usually just as good, or if not better.
Yeah.
Especially at certain positions, it's better to hire virtually.
Absolutely, which we've talked about. So really want to look at what is the position you're hiring for. So if you are going to hire an inside salesperson that is an appointment setter and they're just going to set appointment after appointment after appointment, that is a very skilled position. Now, these are not customer service. And what I find is when people are hiring these people on their own, they are hiring actually customer service people that they think are actually appointment setters. So you got to think about that when you're hiring them, and you got to make sure that you're interviewing them right. And that's,
and we've talked about this before,
yeah,
that you hire talent.
Right.
Wherever it's located, you hire talent.
So somebody that is an inside sales agent that actually brings you money because they're setting appointments, and hopefully if you have good salespeople, the salespeople are closing those deals, you're usually paying them per hour plus bonuses. So for example, you're paying them per hour, then some people will pay them per appointment that shows up. You're paying per closing. So there's a lot of different things that you're paying a appointment setter. So you have to figure out what would you pay that person in the country that you're in, the United States here, and then what is that person worth to me? So it's hourly, and we pay them per closing, okay? So that can be anywhere from pretty much from $5 an hour to $10 an hour, let's say.
So let's do another position. Let's do a video editor. Video editing, hiring that position, because you said ISA or inside sales agent. Video editing, what steps would you do for that? Like, should it be, because I've heard this, I need somebody who's sitting right beside me, who I can,
But what do you mean? So I'm either going to pay a video editor per video, or I'm going to pay them per hour. Okay, so you just have to decide on what that is. And in the US, it can be anywhere from $25, let's say, to $50 per video. Are they doing podcasts? Are they doing, what is their skill set?
Yeah, so and then also what's their training? So that's where a lot of people mess up, is they don't understand what it's going to take to do it. And so if you're time stamping, what is time stamping? Yeah. So time stamping is where you have a podcast or a long form video. They're going in there and then they're taking the parts that you have, and then they're creating a short form, whether it's a short or reel or both for it. And then they're taking and putting that out there or you're putting it out there for them where they chop it up. Because remember, the whole key with the short form content is you got to have a hook in the first 2-3 seconds. Mm-hmm. So your hook may be at minute 40 of an hour long podcast for a point that you made in minute 12.
So it's skill set. All of those things are how much skill do they have.
Here's the one for a video editor that I find is people will find a videographer, and you can always tell when a videographer does video edits, because the videos are all about them and what they took pictures of, as opposed to you and the connection. Because what do people connect with? The two eyes. Your two eyes talking into the video are what people are going to resonate with. And if the screen is always something else,
yeah. So as you can see, we have a lot of knowledge in video editing, especially Mark. So do you guys have that, and do you know what to pay, and do you know how to look for that person? If you do, you can pay them anywhere probably between $4 and $10 an hour. So it really depends on the person that you're hiring, what kind of skill set they have. Do you know what kind of skill set that they need? So that would be an example of a video editor. Let's talk about customer service. So customer service is, the skill set is a little bit less than both those that we just mentioned. You know, they need to know how to answer the phones. They need to know how, you know, what they need to say when they call people back. They need to know how to take messages, identify problems. You know, there's a whole lot of things that they can be doing.
It's probably the most common for virtual assistants because every big company does them.
Yeah.
Every small company does it, where they outsource
Yep.
that customer service. And it's for good reason. They generally find that the customer's experience is better than when it's somebody like in the United States.
So that one you can pay a little bit less too. That usually is paid a little bit less because they don't have the skill set as a inside sales agent or appointment setter. Marketing person is another one. You have to look at the skill set. What can they do? Can they actually do marketing and videos? Can they do websites? Can they work with your Google business profile? Can they help you with local SEO? What are the skill sets that the virtual assistant have? And don't just look at their resume. You need to know yourself how you can identify if they actually have the skill set that they say they
that's
have.
the biggest problem is like somebody just tells them, oh yeah, I know how to do this, and then they have no idea what that means.
Well, it's because the person hiring them doesn't know.
That's my point. The person hiring them has no idea what optimizing your Google business profile is.
Yeah.
And they have no idea, okay, is my Google business profile optimized? Like, oh.
Well, is my video optimized?
Yeah.
You know, if I'm doing a radio show, if I'm doing something else or whatever, how am I utilizing that? Social media, how am I utilizing? There's just so many things. If you're hiring these people on your own, you have to know how to do them. You know, how do you identify if they know how to do them? What you need to pay them. I mean, I can just go on and on and on and on. But basically, anywhere between, let's say, you know, $4 to $12 an hour is a base pay, okay, for depending on the positions and the skill sets and everything else. Then you want to look at what kind of benefits are you giving them. So PTO. Before we did holidays and other things, and now we just do paid. Well, we do holidays still, but paid time off. So they can use that for anything. It's pretty much like the United States.
The more days you work, the more paid time off you get. So
yeah.
It's like you don't start with 10 days paid time
well,
off.
you accumulate.
Yeah, accumulate. That's a better word. Accumulate. The more you work, you accumulate paid time.
Yeah, so it's pretty much like the United States. If they're in just a normal position and not a high up leadership position, they're going to earn over, you know, the second year of working with you, like 2 weeks off. Okay, 2 weeks of paid time off. And then as far as holidays, that's up to you. We give them 4 holidays. We give them Christmas Day, New Year's Day, Thanksgiving, and then we give them their birthday because they find their birthdays really special. So we just give them those 4 paid. So we give them the paid time off, and most of the people on our in-house team or whatever is 2 weeks. We do have a couple that have more time off, paid time off, and then the 4 holidays. They also, you know, in the Philippines, for example, you're giving them, they like to call it the 13th month. The 13th month pay is like a bonus in December. And it can be up to 1 month of pay. You know, if they make $1,000 a month, or let's say $1,500 a month, you can pay them up to $1,500. Some pay them $300, $400, $500. Some pay $700, $800, and $1,500. So I think it really depends on how your company's doing and how they did. Was your company really profitable that year? And did you
pay them bonuses throughout the year?
Yeah, did you pay them bonuses throughout the year? So that's another thing. You know, we like to pay potential bonuses throughout the year. We also pay monthly bonuses if they go above and beyond. So we pay monthly, and this is our in-house team. We pay quarterly depending on position and what they do. We throw in different bonuses for them to achieve.
And we have a team, we have a goal where, like with revenue, if we reach a certain point in revenue, everybody gets a bonus.
profit,
whatever.
year over year.
Yeah. So it's things like that you want that can be in there if you're wanting to tie it to your team's growth, because they are part of your team too. So that's just different ways people structure it to actually pay them throughout the year.
Yep. So there's a lot of different things that you can do, but we basically pay them a salary. A lot of positions are paid bonuses monthly. Actually, everyone can make a monthly bonus depending on how they do that month. And then depending on how the company does, and then at the end of the year. So, and then we give them a lot. You know, we give them health insurance. Now, if you don't have a company in the Philippines, you cannot provide health insurance, which is very big to a lot of people in the Philippines. So
there are ways around that though. You can hire a company and then they want a 15%. So it becomes expensive when you don't have your company set up, because then you have to go to a third party company. They now become employees with that company.
That's a whole different thing.
Yeah. So, and like, they're going to charge you a 15-20% fee on top.
And then they own the person.
Yeah. So like if a bigger company, say Amazon, comes in and says, whatever the position is, let's say it's your position that you've hired them for, they know that they're trained to do that. Amazon comes in and offers them.
So basically, if you want to offer health insurance, there are ways around it, like you said, but you're going to have to hire a company that now actually is in charge of your virtual assistant or your remote staffing person. And they can actually now, if another company comes in and wants to pay more, they can take that employee away from you, even though you're the one who hired them, and give them to somebody else. So it's crazy. And we learned all this when we were opening our company in the Philippines. And I definitely don't recommend that at all.
Because we flat out asked them, I said, so what happens if somebody comes in and they're hiring for more? And they wouldn't answer.
Yeah, because they can't.
I said, are you going to bring that job opportunity up to my VA that I brought in? They wouldn't answer.
Well, it's because they can, and they will. So anyways, if you aren't able to provide health insurance, pretty much they're going to have to figure out how to get it on their own, and it's very expensive and it's very hard and it covers nothing. Then how do you pay them? You can pay them a lot of different ways. When we started, we just paid them through PayPal. That's how we paid them.
Don't recommend PayPal.
But we paid them through PayPal until PayPal shut us down. And then it shut our...
Well, it held $7,000
for 6 months.
For 6 months.
And they didn't actually have to give it back to us. So there's all sorts of craziness. But that is how, I'm telling you how we did that first. Once we had like 100 people, I mean, it got crazy. So we use Wise to pay them. It's pretty good. Now, sometimes it'll be sent back. Sometimes it'll take a day or two. Sometimes it'll take more, but it's safe. Okay, and it's consistent. The only problems that we've had with Wise is having to send the pay again or to...
But that's not necessarily on Wise's end. It's because it's their bank there in the Philippines.
Well, it can be on Wise's end or their bank.
Correct.
It's been both. So, but it's been safe. So for us, that is the way that we recommend that you pay them, is through Wise. The setup of Wise is quite in depth. Okay, so don't be scared away. They're going to ask you for pictures and your company and your LLC. And I mean, it's a lot, a whole lot. And then they continue to ask for updates and pictures, and they're just trying to protect you and your company. So anyways, that's the way that I recommend that you pay them, is through Wise. But anyways, if you're hiring virtual assistants on your own, those are some tips for you on what to pay them, what kind of benefits, and how to pay them. So thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.